Right now, I'd like to feature a new segment that may or may not become a regular feature. On Friday, I played you a couple clips from white supremacist, neo-Nazi, and self-professed incel Nick Fuentes, who was mocking women because Trump won. And as he put it, men now control women's bodies. And if you thought that was bad, and it truly was, just wait till you see this jackhole. And these clips and the shameless slags in them have led me to think the only appropriate name for this segment would have to be WTF, What Have We Become in the Era and Error of the Vile Orange Scum. And yes, I intended that to rhyme. And the two clips I played on Friday and the one I'm about to play, they all speak to something I have been saying for years. Many of the people who support Donald Trump do so because they're just as bad as he is. The despicable dregs, inbreds, and incels of society have finally found their champion, who's just as bad as they are. And while some of his supporters regurgitate the old phrase, well, he wasn't found guilty of rape, just sexual abuse. You know, like that's better? I mean, and not disqualifying, whereas rape certainly would be. Others know he's a rapist and just don't care. If you need more proof, voila.
I'm just a girl standing in front of the world asking for a president who isn't a rapist. Request denied!
I mean, you hear something like this and you quickly realize it would be impossible to underestimate this guy. His parents must be so proud. And he was probably born on a highway. That's where most accidents happen. And you know, mistakes can be corrected. This guy is the exception to the rule. I don't know if depravity this profound can be fixed. His parents should have just drowned him when he was a pup. I mean, it's parents' jobs to raise their children, right? It's obvious this guy's parents quit after the first day. Either that or they failed just as badly as his dad's condom, which would explain why his birth certificate is a letter of apology from the condom factory. And you know, anyone can be an a-hole from time to time, but this guy is abusing the privilege. And you know what you call that useless piece of skin on his penis? Him! This is the kind of guy, if his wife came out of the bathroom, winked at him and said, honey, I just shaved down there, you know what that means? He'd say, yeah, it means the drain is clogged again. Most guys would tickle their significant other with a feather. This guy would use the whole bird. If this guy ever asked his wife, how come you never tell me when you orgasm? She would reply, I don't like calling you when you're at work. This guy's only purpose in life will be as an organ donor. And don't get me wrong, he probably has a great sex life. The only thing missing is another person. And you know what, Alex? If this guy, his wife, and his teenage daughter walked into a restaurant, you know what the waitress would ask? She'd ask, table for two? For you Trumpers, his wife and his teenage daughter are the same person. Get it? And with this guy, just like Trump, there is no bottom. Trump, leading by example, has given his supporters permission to not only be the worst possible versions of themselves, but to be proud of it, and even record themselves doing so and broadcast their depravity on social media. Again, just like Trump does. This guy's not only willing to admit that his president is a rapist, he's proud of it. And so, this is the first installment of a segment I'm going to call WTF have we become in the era and error of the vile orange scum. And does anyone listening today disagree with me that it's only going to get worse the next 4 years? And does anyone share my fear that it may have already gone too far and that we just might not recover from this? Millions upon millions of people now thoroughly enjoy being the exact opposite of what a decent, civilized nation needs to have in order to survive. Some sense of a shared civility. I mean, maybe not kumbaya, but at least not championing and applauding rapists. There has to be a middle ground somewhere in between those two. But I fear that Trumpism is here to say it is much easier for many to be vile than to be decent, apparently.